So one of the drones that just kind of came out of nowhere this year, at least for me, to kind of compete, especially in the budget drone world, was the Atom 2 by Potensic. And I've taken it out actually a couple times to fly it around, and I quite enjoy flying around. It has a really nice, like their controller for a cell phone based controller. Great hand. It feels good. It feels solid. It's sturdy. It works really well. I'm very pleased with it. And then they reached out to me just the other day and said, "Hey, we're sending you our new remote controller right here." And this is something I really like because it's one of the reasons for me that I have a mini 3, not a 4 or 5, a mini 3, and this is it. This is it right here. You know, the biggest thing that I like, and the reason I bought it when it came out was because of their controller with the screen. Because I like having access to my phone as a phone. I don't want my drone to be using it or a phone call comes through, or I want to be able to check it for other stuff or launch certain apps or whatever, and I can't because you can't do it on the screen, or you can't do it while you're flying. Um, so I like having that. Plus, there's times that I actually use my phone for filming the drone. I can't do that. Anyways, this is it. This is it. This is the PTD1 remote controller. So I'm gonna show you what comes in the box, and then I'm gonna go and give it a fly with the Atom 2. So, anyways, this is it, right? What does this say here? 5.5-inch screen, 10-kilometer full HD video transmission, 3-hour maximum battery life, 27-watt fast charger. Actually, I took it out of the box last night to make sure it was charged, and it charged surprisingly fast, so that was good. Anyways, this is the box, and the controller normally does come, just so you guys know, it does come in a little bag, right? Just because it's protected, and then basically you got to get your manual, charging cable, and that's kind of it. That's all. That's all. What more do you need, right? What more do you need? Anyway, you put that down there, and it's already a little dirty. Oh my goodness! I have a cat. She likes to get on top of stuff. Whatever. Anyways, I want you to see the difference between these two. Yes. So, as you guys, they're there. As you can see, I like. This is what I like. And maybe you're different, but I really like this. Um, Small, feels more like a game controller for me. I find with this one, right, more like a game controller. I like the width of this, I have to say. Now, the one thing I do wish that I like here is that on the DJI, this is textured. It's got a rubbery feel, so the grip does feel really nice. I do like that grip part. You can see it back here. Whereas on here, it's got like a place for your thumb and stuff like that. And it's a bit more grippy, a bit more rubbery. But I do have to say, I do like the textured rubber that's on that for grip wise. So, grip wise, I say that one I still like better, right? They both have like cooling areas, right, for that kind of stuff. But I like the fact that this width is out here. I just feel like it's more substantial. If I can get my hands out wider, which I like. This one again, I'm guessing built-in antennas. This one, antennas. Nice. We have antennas that come up, so we can pop those down. We're on our way. Yes. Other than that, seems very similar. We're going to have a return to home, our power buttons, our joysticks, right? Same kind of buttons that are on the actual Atom 2 controller. And of course, on the bottom, we have a place for an SD card slot and your USB charger. There's two little areas here. My guess is, I'm honestly, I'm not 100% sure what those are for. Maybe it's something I'm going to have to look into. I thought maybe at first you could possibly get, you know, more of these, right? If you needed more range, you should buy extended antennas that may be plugged into those. But I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, take this guy. We'll put him away. And I have the drone somewhere. I know I brought it out here. I did. I swear I did. Anyways, I'm just going to take the actual drone out. I'm curious about connection. So here, of course, is the lovely Atom. And all I need is a battery. So we're going to have a battery in here. Okay. Yes. Good. Let's just pop everything out so that this is connected. Take off the screen guard. I'm curious. Now, I don't know. This may need to have some weird specific pairing. We're going to put you here. And same idea. I don't need to attach the joysticks. Again, the joysticks are stored in the bottom. Tap once, tap again. And you guys should be able to see it for the very first time, right? There it is. Potensic. It does have a little screen protector on it. I'll take that off when I'm good and ready is when I'll take it off. When I'm good and ready. Key now is I want to see if this connects to this drone. And again, this is the very first time it boots up. So it's going to be, or take the longest, of course. It'll be faster after this would be my guess. All right, welcome. So English, yep. Agree. It is searching for my network. So I'm going to hop onto my network here. I do have to enter my password. So of course, I never remember it. Give me 1 sec. But I will have to say that in regards to the screen, very legible, and the touch is very good, very responsive. So that I'm pleased with. And I should confirm. Let's just see. Connecting. Yep. Okay. Country. Excellent. Canada. Time zone. Atlantic. Thank you. Next. Note. Make sure the time is set correctly. Can't really tell. Well, yes, it's Atlantic. So I'm guessing that's right. And again, we won't have to do that probably ever again. We're going to log in. So I got to put on my login information. Should have made the video shorter. Activate the remote controller. Excellent. I got the login. So that's awesome. All right. Tells you everything that's going on here. Still booting, right? I'm going to just, I can figure this part out. Oh, and you get a little video. This kind of shows you how amazing this screen is. Yes? Look at that. Where am I? I'm guessing this is only first time, right? First time you do this. So. Sweet. All right. Academy. Yeah, don't care. Okay. There's already a new app version. Okay. So we're going to hit upgrade. I'm going to let that happen. And actually, it's coming down pretty fast. So just bear with me. Give me a second. And we'll see how this connects. Okay. That's pretty fast. Actually, probably less than a minute. So do I actually have a fly now button? Does it actually see this already? There's no way it sees. No, it doesn't see this already. So I'm curious because it's booted. I wonder if I were to turn this on and restart it, if it would find it. So I'll turn that off and then turn it back on just so it restarts. I'm curious if it'll actually just find it right off the start. Controller is on. There's no fly now button, which is fine, but there is a guide. Power on the drone, unfold the drone and make sure to insert the battery, remove the gimbal cover, press and hold the power button of the drone to power on. So I've done all that. Now the other thing that could be, which I'll pause this, I may actually have to, there may be a firmware update possibly for this so that it sees this. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn you off. I'm going to go back to my controller app or my phone app, and I'm going to see if there's a firmware update. All right. So I'm going to try that, and then I'll be back and we'll see if this connects. Okay, it did take me a few minutes, and yes, there were a couple of actual firmware updates. There was a few things I had to do, but I think I got it all working now. So number one, this is number one. When you turn on your remote, of course, there can be some updates, so please make sure you do them all. So do your updates, connect it, get all that stuff going. Even if you're using the old controller and the Atom 2, there are some firmware updates that came out for it as of today. So this is the 25th. That give you P-Log. So we're going to be flying with P-Log tonight. So that's exciting. Anyways, once it actually turns on, firmware updates are done.
So we are going to turn this on. So it's just a double click here, of course, to get it to boot up. I'll fast forward to the boot up. Okay, so you get to this here page, right? Of course, you'll see in the bottom right hand corner, there's the controller and the drone. Oops, controller and the drone. So the controller just connected, but no drone. And that's how it looks. So at that point in time, what you need to do is mine will automatically connect. But if you turn the drone on, so click it once, click it twice, it starts up, right? As soon as it turns on, this light will go blue because it probably is looking, it realizes it was looking for your old controller. So at that point in time, you just tap this and then this will flash. It'll start flashing. Okay. I think it's a tap. If it's not a tap, it's double tap. This will start flashing, which means it's kind of in pairing mode. Okay. So it's pairing, ready to connect again. Then when you go to your controller and you'll go to the fly now, again, mine is connected. But if you were to go in there, this main screen would be empty, of course, not a camera. And then there's the 3 buttons at the top. So you tap on that, you would go down to calibration, and then you'd go down to where it says repair the drone. And when you go into repair the drone, it'll actually search for the drone. So it'll connect it again. It'll probably come up and say, oh, it's different. It needs a firmware update again because it's connecting to this drone, et cetera, et cetera. But then you should be good. So once you're done with that, my recommendation again is to restart. And when you restart everything, what happens is, and you'll see this here when you go into the 3 dots, there was a few things like a camera, which some of these didn't update. Even though the drone updated, you'll see I have P-log right now. It just gave me the option of standard, which I was like, no, I don't, that's not what I want. And it had, you know, the ability, if you're in like standard mode, you have the ability to play with your sharpening and all that. So mine, I just couldn't change anything. So if you want to be able to change those things a little quicker, see at the very bottom where it says like 4K 30 EV0. If you tap on that, you can go in, of course. I'm going to set my exposure compensation. I like it down at 0.4. I can set my 4K 30. But when you're in this screen, 4K 30, it had defaulted to 1080p. You'll see at the top P-log standard and HDR, right? So I changed mine to P-log. And as soon as I changed it to P-log and you go back in here, everything updated. So if you are having some issues, that may actually change it for you. I'm recording in H.265. You can record in H.264. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, it's all connected now. As you can see, I can go in here. There's my map. There's my screen. You can actually see it's working, so I can tilt my camera up and down. I got no reception in here. That's to be expected. I'm in the basement. Anyways, I'm going to get this, charge up this battery, and we're going to go for a fly. Yeah. All right, guys. So we are out at the car. As you can see right here, we've got it. Yes. Anyways, the nice thing about it is that it's a little bit bigger, but than the normal actual controller, but it still fits in case. So that's a complete win. It's also still a little windy out today. That's okay. We're fine with that. I have to change batteries because my old battery is dying during all the updating stuff, so that's good. Things that you and I need to do, right? Just make sure I unfold these the proper way. Excellent. So while that's getting started, I have, of course, the new remote. All we're gonna do is click and then another hold. Up it goes. That should start booting. Perfect. We got our drone. This is gonna be 1, 2. Up she goes. Perfect. I'm just gonna sit that here. That should be hunky-dory. Yes. Yeah, good. And then while I'm just putting this stuff off to the side, you know, packing up my stuff so I'm ready to go, this should be ready to fly right away. So I'm just going to take this, you know, pop these out. You can put them however you choose. You actually see the screen there. Looks glorious. There it is. Excellent. We'll go to the fly. Should start seeing satellites. So like take off with caution. Still looking for satellites. There we go. Take off. Unable to take off. Oh, there we go. Takeoff permitted. Again, I have my stuff here. So 16 by 9, 30 frames, 4K, P-log. Awesome. Okay. Then, as far as I know, I think we should just have to slide. Please take off before starting AI track. Okay. So, we should just be able to, boom. Check battery installation status. Okay. Yep, everything's golden. Good, cool. Look at that. AI tracking quick shots. Yeah, don't care. We're good. What we're going to do is just put that up. Come on now. Start our recording. Right, so that's all recording, all beautiful in the glorious P-log. Now the bonus of this, of course, is, we'll just turn it this way. Even today, like I said, we got a fair bit of wind, but we'll raise that up. Yeah, first time around, you get lots of things telling you, hey, do you know what you're doing? Right? Pop it up. We'll may have some colors in the trees. And I have my exposure, actually I don't. I'm going to bring my exposure compensation down just a little bit. Let's go to -2. Okay. Very cool. And again, we have that nice P-log. So we should be up nice and high. It is darker out for sure. Yes. We're up there. So let's just give her a forward, yeah? Move a little forward to see what's going on. But that screen's nice. Screen's good. Now, depending on what kind of phone you have, you may notice your screen may be brighter, for sure, but we'll just continue going up just to see what's going on. Excellent. You can turn over here. You can see the nice tower. Okay, you see where we are. Yes. There's the tower and the water over there. Very good. I think we're at full height. So that's okay. We'll just turn and do a little turn and pan. Excellent. And if you ever aren't quite sure where you are, you do have the little map on the system, right? So I can spin that around so I know what direction I need to go to kind of bring myself home. Right, so I can actually point it back to where I took off from. I'm like, oh yeah, that's where I is. I'm over here somewhere. There's the parking lot, right? So a nice little fly forward. Look how smooth that is. Come on now. That's nice and smooth. Yes? Just being able to use that. Maximum altitude reached. Yes, sir. Right? There's our forward control. We should be flying right over top of me right away. Yes. Bring my camera up a little bit. Even the camera is nice and smooth, like when you're actually doing like a pivot. So you're angling it up. It should be back to the 0 right away. Right there. Excellent. I just flew by myself. So that's good. Flew by. And what we'll do now is we'll do the return to home, right? Home. And I'm going to say land or return. So let's go return. Yes. Returning, do you want the beep on? You can turn the beep off if you so choose. You can still control the pivot of the camera, which I actually like. So just so you get some extra footage while you're doing it. Reach my maximum altitude. Excellent. It's going to figure out where I am. I should be pretty close to home, actually. So, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty much right above myself. Yes? That P-log. There I am. Right there. And there's it coming down. And again, this is, you know, this is, see? Here I am. Right there I am. Where is it? Yeah, right there. Very good. Which is cool. It's cool. And it's going to take off and land right down here. Now I'm kind of curious. Again, I just wanted to see how close it comes if it doesn't land on the car. So you guys should be able to see this as it comes down here. Yeah, so it's a little off to the right, but definitely close. Close enough. I'll just move my camera up. All right, and whomp. Beautiful. That's beautiful. So let's just tilt my camera back up again. And just so you guys can see it more in like blue sky, because blue sky is kind of nice. We'll just start that recording again. All right. There she goes. All right. Yeah, let's just do a cruise this way. Right over top of this kid, hopefully not, right? There we go, we're underneath stuff. And then we'll do a little lift. And of course we flew under some power lines, so we want to make sure that when we come back, we definitely fly over them, for sure. But we get a little bit, when I'm seeing the sky's pretty blue, for sure. Now because of this P log, of course, my guess is, on my screen it looks a lot grayer. But that's what it's supposed to be. So I got some good distance. You know, I'm about 240, 250 meters away. Excellent. So what we'll do is we'll spin it around. So again, I can look at my little map in the bottom corner there to make sure I'm kind of pointing back at me, which I am. All right, we'll bring that down a tad. Hit that little return to home. All right, tap, click, return to home. Excellent. Returning to home. So now she should rise.
Maximum altitude.
Yep. Perfect. And then she should start her venture back. So because of her having good altitude now, she should have no problems coming back over that set of power lines, which is good. You gotta watch for that kind of stuff. Yes? Yes. That's important. So I think it's coming close. The screen's a little dark, but again, I have that exposure compensation turned down. Oh yeah, there it is. Way up there. You guys probably can't see it, but it's there. And it comes back pretty fast, I have to say. She was moving. Oh yes, she was moving. So watch the area below during landing and manually adjust the position if needed. All right, so she is dropping. So I'm gonna just stand back here a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then what we're gonna do is when it lands, we're gonna actually go home and see if we can play around with this footage just to see what kind of difference that P-log makes. Any kind of flat profile though, usually super beneficial. Actually, I think that's gonna be pretty close to where it took off from. I don't know if you guys, it's coming. It's coming down. And it's, like I said, it's not windy, but it's a little bit of wind. It's steady. Definitely steady. Yes? Watch, there she goes. And voila. Excellent. Excellent. And then when you're done, it's super easy. I don't have to do anything with my phone, right? All I'm going to do now is compass needs to be calibrated. Yeah. We can do it later. So all I got to do here is you click and hold. Then it comes up and it asks you to slide the power off. Voila. Perfect. And then this same kind of thing, right? 1 click, 2 click. Off we go. Fantastic. I'm going to pack this up and go home, take a look at the footage, and we'll finish the video there.
We're back. I've edited. You guys have seen the footage on the screen. You can kind of tell what you think. Few things I myself am a fan of P-log, right? And a kind of flat profile, I just think is fantastic for being able to color grade. I do know, like before that, even when you go to standard or HLG, there was some options for like minusing, putting your like sharpness down and putting your saturation down, which is what I flew in with the original video, which was good, but I still wish I could have brought it down just even a little bit more. So this allows you to have a really flat profile. Now, I didn't add any sharpening to the color graded. So if you want it a bit sharper, you have the ability to sharpen. If you don't want to do any color grading at all, then just leave it in standard or push it into, the HDR kind of mode. You should get more shadow information. You should get more highlight information. You should get some more, dark. But I like having that control sometimes. So that was good.
On the flip side, that controller, fantastic. I love it. I will not be using the standard one, this one, which I did like for sure, but I will not be using that. I'll be using the new controller with screen. It took me a little bit of time to figure out how to get it all updated and connected, but hopefully this video helps any of you that are going through the same issues. In regards to hopefully some possible future updates, the only thing, this is kind of the only thing that I would like to see them possibly put into a future firmware update is bitrate control. So I would love to be able to play around with bitrate. So if I have a card fast enough to be able to handle higher bitrate footage, then I should be able to record in a higher bitrate. Now, I don't know what their bitrate is on this drone, but there is definitely a little bit of compression artifacts that you see, especially during movement. When the drone is moving slow, not as obvious. When the drone is moving faster, you can definitely see some compression artifacts happening. But again, it's a beginner drone, so I can't complain too much. But if they wanted to release a new firmware with the ability to really crank up that bitrate, I think this would just be 100% no-brainer. Even now, though, I think for most people that are getting into drones, want a drone for travel, want a drone for just flying around doing whatever, it's a really good bargain. Even if you don't get the new controller with the screen and you just get the default drone with the default controller, right? I think it's still good. Anyways, I'm going to put a link down below if you're interested. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time, next video. Links down below. I'm out.